Ever wonder how those vintage cars at concours events get to look so pristine?
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just elbow grease, you know?
Right.
It's an intricate dance of craftsmanship and time travel, really, bringing automotive legends back to life.
Yeah, right.
And get this, some folks are adding a futuristic twist by using something called digital twins in the restoration process.
It's a game changer.
Okay.
Really, it is. Imagine having a virtual replica of the entire workshop
Wow.
and the car itself, helping mechanics every step of the way.
Okay, that sounds seriously cool.
Yeah.
But let's back up a bit for those of us who haven't gone full Back to the Future yet.
Sure.
What exactly is a digital twin, and how does it fit into the world of classic cars?
So in simple terms,
Okay.
a digital twin is like a virtual mirror of a physical object or even a whole process.
Okay.
In this case, we're talking about a classic car workshop
Right.
that partnered with some big brains, university researchers, the Automobile Club de Portugal, even BASF, the paint gurus, to create a digital twin of their entire operation. And the best part,
What's that?
we have a master's thesis that dives deep into how they did it,
Cool.
giving us a backstage pass to this high-tech restoration magic show.
I like it.
Yeah,
All right, so no pressure on this master student, right? They had to impress some serious players in the automotive world.
absolutely. And they took it seriously.
Yeah.
They even incorporated something called the Charter of Turin.
Okay.
Basically, it's like the holy grail of classic car restoration. A set of guidelines from the Fédération Internationale des Véhicules Anciens, or FIFA,
Right.
all about preserving a car's historical accuracy.
Wow.
This team actually baked those principles right into their digital twin.
Wow, talk about attention to detail. It sounds like
Right.
they weren't messing around.
Nope.
So how does one even begin to build a digital twin of, well, everything? Did they just wave a magic wand and poof, virtual workshop appears?
It was a bit more complicated than that.
Right.
They started with the workshop itself. You'd think they could just, scan the building.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like 3D scan it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it turns out they had to get their hands dirty, literally.
Oh,
They
really?
had some old 2D blueprints.
Okay.
But to create a truly accurate 3D replica, they had to take tons of measurements by hand. Talk about dedication.
Wow. I'm getting flashbacks to my college architecture classes.
Oh, yeah.
All those late nights hunched over drafting tables.
Yeah.
But once they had all the measurements, what software did they use to build this digital wonderland?
It's fascinating, actually. They used a blend of industry standard tools and something a little unexpected.
Okay.
For the 2D groundwork, they used AutoCAD, which is pretty standard.
Right.
Then they switched to Revit for creating the 3D model of the workshop, which makes sense. Revit's like the gold standard for architects and engineers.
Makes sense. You want to use the best tools for the job,
Right.
especially when you're talking about recreating something as intricate as a workshop.
Exactly. Then to add that visual flair, the kind that makes things pop,
Yeah.
brought in Thriders, Max, think lighting, textures, all the things that make the digital world come alive.
Okay.
But here's where it gets really interesting. They used Unity to create the interactive part of the digital twin.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Unity, like the video game engine.
Yes.
Are you telling me they used something from the gaming world to restore classic cars?
You got it.
Wow.
It seems unexpected,
Yeah.
but it's actually brilliant.
Okay.
Unity gives you this 3D environment you can move around in,
Okay.
interact with, which is perfect for visualizing the workshop.
Right.
But here's the kicker. They didn't just recreate the space.
What else?
They went a step further and mapped out every single process and task the shop does
Wow.
onto that digital twin.
Okay, so not just a pretty face then.
No.
It's like they created a virtual map of their entire workflow.
Yes.
So instead of paper trails and scattered notes,
Right.
it's all right there in the digital twin.
You got it. The thesis gives examples. Chemical blasting, part storage, the paint booth, even detailed workflows like coat and styling and disassembly and assembly, all meticulously organized and linked to specific areas in the digital model.
This is already blowing my mind.
Right.
We're just getting started.
Oh, no.
Okay, so before we were talking about this incredibly detailed digital twin,
Right.
a virtual replica of a classic car workshop,
Yeah.
right down to the
That was
workflows.
impressive.
It's all very cool,
Mhm.
but I'm dying to know, like, how does it actually work in practice?
That's the really exciting part.
Okay.
This is where we go from, a cool 3D model to a powerful tool.
Ugh.
Remember how they incorporated the Charter of Turin?
Yes.
Those guidelines for authentic restorations?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were already using an app called the Charter of Turin Monitor
Right.
to track each car's restoration progress.
Right. Right. To make sure everything's done by the book.
Exactly.
Or should we say by the charter?
By the charter, yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay.
But instead of keeping that data separate,
Mm-hmm.
they found a way to link it directly to the digital twin.
Oh, wow.
So
Uh-huh.
now
Okay.
you can actually see in real time
Wow.
where a car is in the restoration process.
Okay.
What's been done, what's next,
Mm-hmm.
all within the context of that virtual workshop.
Okay, I'm starting to get a sense of how powerful this could be.
It is.
But how does the data actually flow?
That's a great question.
Between the app, the digital twin, all these different systems, that seems like a tech headache waiting to happen.
And this is where it gets even more impressive.
Okay.
They use something called APIs,
Okay.
which are basically like little digital messengers
Okay.
that allow different software systems to talk to each other seamlessly.
So APIs are like the glue that holds it all together?
Precisely.
Okay.
They act like bridges, making sure that data from the Charter of Turin Monitor, the workflow management, everything
Right.
flows smoothly into the digital twin.
Okay.
And that makes it a living, breathing tool.
Right. Yeah.
Not just a static model.
Okay. Now you're just showing off with all these technical terms.
Oh.
But I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay, good.
So this digital twin is like chock full of data,
Yes.
but how do the actual mechanics in the workshop, how do they use it?
Right.
Do they need like special VR goggles?
You wish.
Yeah.
No, they designed it to be incredibly user-friendly.
Okay.
The mechanics can access the digital twin from a computer or even a tablet.
Oh, cool.
They can zoom in on a specific car,
Okay.
see which stage of the restoration it's in, what tasks are scheduled next,
Okay.
all laid out visually.
So no more rifling through stacks of paperwork
Exactly.
or trying to remember which workbench had that box of vintage screws.
We got it. It streamlines the entire process.
That's awesome.
And get this, they can even use the digital twin to assign tasks
Really?
to specific locations in the shop.
Oh, wow.
So everyone knows what's happening and where.
Now that's what I call teamwork.
I know, right?
But what about the owners of these classic beauties? Do they get to play around in this digital wonderland too?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Imagine you're the proud owner of, let's say, a 67 Mustang undergoing a full restoration.
Mm-hmm.
You're obviously eager to see the progress.
Oh, of course.
Right.
Huh.
Well, with this digital twin,
Yeah.
you don't have to just take your word for it.
Right.
You can virtually walk around your car,
Wow.
zoom in on specific details, see the work as it's being done,
That's amazing.
all from your own computer.
I can see it now. Instead
Yeah.
of just getting a phone call every few weeks,
Yeah,
owners can check in on their babies whenever they like.
you got it. It's all about transparency
Yeah.
and building trust.
Yeah, yeah.
Plus, it's just plain cool.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got increased efficiency, happy car owners,
Mm-hmm.
and a healthy dose of cool factor.
Right.
But the thesis also hinted at something called a simulation mode.
Yes.
What's that all about?
This is where things get really strategic.
Okay.
They can actually use the digital twin to run simulations,
What?
testing out different scenarios virtually before implementing them in the real world.
Oh, wow.
Let's say they want to rearrange the equipment in the shop
Mm-hmm.
or try out a new workflow.
Okay.
They could do a test run in the digital world first.
They can.
Exactly. They can see if it actually improves efficiency or if it creates bottlenecks.
Oh, that's really cool.
All without lifting a wrench in the real workshop.
That's amazing.
It's like having a risk-free testing ground for optimizing their entire operation.
That's incredible. Talk about working smarter, not harder.
Right.
It sounds like this digital twin is more than just a tool. It's practically a member of the team.
That's a great way to put it. And this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Really?
This particular workshop focused on the practical applications
Right.
of using a digital twin for restoration.
Okay.
But imagine the possibility.
Okay, now you've really got me thinking, what could the future hold for digital twins in classic cars? Okay, now you've really got me thinking, what could the future hold for digital twins in classic cars?
Well, the potential is, it's really mind-blowing.
Okay,
You
yeah.
know, this workshop focused on the practicalities of restoration, right?
Right.
But imagine using this technology for training
Okay.
the next generation of mechanics.
Ooh, like a virtual apprenticeship.
Exactly.
Where they can learn on priceless classics without the risk of,
Yes.
accidentally drilling through a chassis.
Exactly. They could practice complex procedures,
Right.
experiment with different techniques, all in a safe virtual environment.
Wow.
It could revolutionize how we pass down these specialized skills.
Wow, that would be incredible. Talk about preserving not just the cars themselves, but also the craft of restoring them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it goes beyond training.
Okay.
Picture virtual showrooms
Yes.
where enthusiasts can explore these beauties up close,
Okay.
even interact with them
Wow.
without having to travel to a physical location.
So instead of just looking at pictures online,
Right.
I could virtually kick the tires of a 57 Chevy Bel Air
Yes.
from anywhere in the world.
Precisely.
That's
It could democratize access to these incredible vehicles
Yeah.
and create whole new avenues for collectors
right.
and enthusiasts to connect.
This is getting me really excited.
Yeah.
But beyond the wow factor, are there ways this technology could actually help us better understand and preserve these cars over
Ooh.
the long term?
That's a really intriguing question.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to simulate the effects of time
Oh, wow.
and the elements on different materials,
Okay.
seeing how various restoration techniques hold up over decades.
So we could use this technology to develop better conservation methods,
That's the thing.
ensuring these cars stay roadworthy.
Yes.
Or at least show ready for generations to come.
Precisely.
That's amazing.
We could essentially fast forward time in the digital world, testing out different preservation strategies to see what works best in the long run.
It's like giving these classic cars a digital crystal ball. It's amazing to think that this one master's thesis,
Right?
focused on a single workshop,
It is.
has opened up such a vast world of possibilities.
And that's the beauty of these deep dives, isn't it?
It is.
We start with a specific example,
Right.
a snapshot of innovation.
Yeah.
But it sparks our imaginations
It does.
and
yeah.
gets us thinking about the bigger picture.
It's a reminder that the line between cutting-edge technology and classic craftsmanship is blurring, and that's a beautiful thing.
I agree.
Who knows what other surprises await as the digital world continues to merge with our automotive passions.
And that, my friend, is a question for another deep dive.
Until next time, keep those engines running and your imaginations running wild.